I've rarely hunted deer or any big animal in my life.
For someone that has never seen an elk, they are a very big animal.
Check out this whole ridge for a better spot this afternoon and come back and try to get these guys.
It is intimidating, and especially when you're the one that ultimately has to pull the trigger on that big beast.
It's a baptism of elk for hunter Chuck Sanchez and guide Steve Hazlitt on this fine edition of Elk Fever.
Another big bull coming in behind him.
Sweet. There's so much adrenaline flowing through my body. It was the most insane, exciting, exhilarating experience. And right when he blew that cow call,
Lo and behold, there he is, standing broadside.
Easy, easy. I got a lane. I got a lane. Settle down.
Elk Fever is brought to you today by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. Out on Colorado's west slope, a hunter's starting his career in a big way. Chuck Sanchez is kicking it up from smaller game to the monarch of North America, monster bull elk.
the first 2 days, it was tough because, I mean, we weren't seeing a lot of animal movement. Everybody else was seeing animals. Some people were seeing 60 animals, 100 animals. Some people were seeing monster bulls. We haven't seen anything. And even in the places that Steve had seen elk before, he hadn't seen anything. It was a letdown. It was beating me up.
Guiding Chuck Sanchez on his elk initiation at Kessler Canyon is expert Steve Hazlitt. For Sanchez, elk is part of a hunting progression that began with his marrying into an outdoor family and picking up a gun.
For someone that has never seen an elk, they are a very big animal. It is intimidating, and especially when you're the one that ultimately has to pull the trigger on that big beast. There's every bit as much of bull fever as there is buck fever.
In my life of hunting, I haven't killed many big animals. Before this, I've killed 3 deer.
When he became the son-in-law and brother-in-law of hunters, it was only natural for Sanchez to sign on for the complete package. Inevitably, he made the transition from ducks, geese, and deer to the major leagues of elk in the western high country. Now, the pressure's on him to close the deal.
I've rarely hunted deer or any big animal in my life. Before I even met married Lane's daughter, which is 11 years ago, I hunted in my backyard, like squirrels, pigeons. I fished a lot. I married this family, it's all about hunting, duck hunting, you know, and I took into it really quick. Fire in the hole.
Bingo. Bingo.
That is a hammer.
I'm the old man. I'm the guy that says, let's go home. I've had enough of this fun. We've zeroed every rifle, all the bows, everything's perfect.
I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to do it. I'm very excited. I got high hopes for the whole trip.
Sanchez's inaugural hunt couldn't be better timed. It's in the middle of the Bugle in the heart of prime elk country at Kessler Canyon.
Kessler Canyon is a 23,000-acre property located on the western slope of Colorado. We're about less than an hour from the Grand Junction Airport, and that 23,000 acres is dedicated to the outdoor lifestyle. Elk hunts particularly, we want great guides, we want habitat maintained to the absolute peak of production, and we want to manage our herds for the benefit of our hunters and for the species here locally in this part of Colorado.
The moon has yet to set, and daylight's a good hour away as Chuck Sanchez's first elk hunt begins.
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. We're talking about it last night and looking at all the mounts in there and learning about what point is what and 7x6 and all that stuff is. I'm excited. I want to see what's out there and I want to try to bring a good one home.
Well, we're gonna head up. We got probably, because of that switchback and stuff, we got every bit of 40-minute commute to get up there. But once we get up on top, we'll wait till the sun comes up enough where we have visualization, and then we'll move out to a ridge and we'll glass and we'll start our spot and stock. I mean, that's the name of this game, spot and stock. There's some more meadows right down here, so we're gonna get up on this ridge and definitely check that north face on that side for any bedded animals, and then also get down there, see if we can see if something's coming out to feed in these meadows. There he is. Is that an elk? Look at the size of that thing. Sweet. But you got us in a big bowl. We're just gonna watch them for a while. Let's see what they do. They're probably gonna go down right there. But it's really exciting. The first time we spotted them. How many points does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't see that if there's a 6 one or not. He's a smaller 6. He's a smaller 6. I mean, there's definitely 2. All right, what do we do? What do we do? Well, first and foremost, the most important thing is to figure out which direction the wind's blowing. And we'll have to play it by ear from there. But what I'll do is we'll get up back up here on this road, the ribbon, so we know. See, ideally, I think if we get to this ridge right here, if we get to that ridge right there, and if the wind comes up, like it normally does when the thermals start up in the afternoon, it comes up this way, be able to have a nice shot on. Let's back out of here. Go all the way down this road, basically, down to the end and see what we see. Just move out real quiet and slow. We're guessing that they're going to bed down on up there for the day and come back down to the night to the meadow in the draw. We're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. We're going to scope out this whole ridge for a better spot for this afternoon to come back and try to get these guys. But they have one real big buck in there that I hope to get. So we're just going to kind of get a game plan wrapped up so we can go back, get it together, and come back later on in the day and try to get that guy. I'm getting all jacked up now. I'm getting popped. There's another big bull coming through. Look at the size of that thing. Another big bull coming in behind here. Look at those guys. All right, what do we do? What do we do?
The bugling of elk is showing the way for newly minted big game hunter Chuck Sanchez and veteran guide Steve Hazard.
We're going to scope out this whole ridge for a better spot for this afternoon and come back and try to get these guys.
Day 3, worked into a ridge.
See those 2 tall pines? Let's try and make our way for that. Then we can see around the corner.
The ridge is called Ridge 10.5. It wasn't a name ridge. It's in between a ridge 10 and 11.
It's a pretty neat area. There's actually 3 ridges that come together right there, and then right there in the middle of that ridge is a water hole.
When we got there, we noticed a couple elk moving in from the southern canyon, southern ridge.
Just so you know, they got a bush about 4 or 6
It was just absolutely outstanding. That's all I can say. We had at least, I don't know, 9 to 12 bugling bulls screaming back and forth at each other.
There's another big bull coming through.
Look at the size of that thing.
Another big bull coming in behind him.
Look at those guys. They're still coming in. All right, what do we do? What do we do? I started getting really excited. I was becoming less focused on what I was doing. But Steve, our guide, he was keeping me in check.
It's a smart play. Wait it out. I got you. As soon as you start trying to rush it, bad things happen. Gotcha. Just get I'm all jacked up. Oh, no, I understand. And so am I. But that's the thing. Right now, we got about a 50-50 chance of them coming forward. If the wind stays across this, our chances increase to 75 because they want to go uphill into the wind.
It was intense. We wanted to get those bulls in a range that he felt comfortable and could make a good, clean shot.
Let's go.
When it comes to elk hunting successfully, a hunter's image is everything. You can't ever forget what big eyes bull elk have, as expert Steve Hazlitt explains.
The thing that is overlooked by a lot of people is that these animals have unbelievable eyesight. They can pin you down before you even see them. So probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people do, they silhouette themselves. You always want to keep in mind, you have to have something breaking up your silhouette. So if you see a high advantage point, get to a bush, get to a rock, get that rock, get that bush behind you. Break up that silhouette because, in essence, if you stand up in the sky, you might as well fly right over the top of these animals and these animals will see you every time.
Keep in mind, those two smaller bulls are staying out in front of that big bull. So if he starts coming up in here, it's decision time. I'll make one, trust me.
And the sun was setting fast, and it always seems that when there's animals coming out, time moves a heck of a lot faster. And so I kept looking at my watch, the sun kept moving, the animals were getting too much closer.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my God. You see it? That's a dandy, dude.
And we actually had a bull within 300 yards, and it was a really good one. So we watched these animals for quite some time, and we were calling them with a cow call.
If I can get closer, I can take a shot. It's 300. So does that. Can you hold that steady free hand at 300? That's the thing. He's coming downhill kind of towards us. I mean, that's kind of a Hail Mary, you know?
None of them came close enough where Chuck felt comfortable about shooting, which is definitely the right thing to do.
And it just wouldn't have been a good shot. We figured that if we don't take the shot, that we can come back in the morning and try it again and see if we can figure it all out. And right when we blew that cow call, crossing that ridge, we heard that big old howl come from a bull.
There he is, there he is. There he is right there. Going down the hill. Coming right down the hill.
Elk Fever is brought to you today by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. First-time elk hunter Chuck Sanchez and Kessler Canyon guide Steve Hazlitt are going to the well one more time to find the monster bull they know is there.
It was the last day. The clock was ticking. We went out to the same ridge, 10.5, and we positioned ourselves in one little spot so we can kind of see where the aspens were again and look at the same spot where all these animals were coming out of.
That bull's not too scared.
Figured, let's get in there and let's see what happens. Worked our way down. I decided that as a guide, this was our last day. And basically what it was gonna boil down to is, you know, I was gonna try and put Chuck on a shot, you know, any way that I possibly could. And ultimately I was willing to push that envelope and take that chance and take that risk.
We have one heck of a game drill right here. This back part of the ranch here is not used for cattle or anything. And I mean, this thing looks like a cattle trail coming up through this. You can't even explain how many hoof prints, track, sign, everything is there. I mean, everything is lining up in the sense that this animal has to come down from that bedding area in this dark timber. Where it's set up in dark timber, we got a clear opening, clear shot where she actually shoot from ridge to ridge. But it's a 250-yard shot. So if they come, we're gonna have a clean, clear shot. And I know that area will back up. Big bull country. So we'll see. We'll find out.
We probably had about 2 hours left of sunlight in the day. Steve decides to sit up and he blows that cow call. And right when he blew that cow call, crossing that ridge, we heard that big old howl come from a bull.
He's right there behind the bushes. Those yellow ones, the yellow bushes right there. Okay, he's right there. He's gonna be coming back behind. Now when he comes down, just pull up on him, okay? But be nice and easy. Now watch. Let me see.
Hair on the back of my neck stood up. Started shaking a little bit. I was thinking, yeah, there's no way this is gonna happen. There's no way this is gonna happen. The last day, the last hour of the hunt. But then he decides to take a little turn. And I had to adjust, so I scooted over a little bit. There was this tiny little window, I would say about the size of a basketball, within this tree.
He's turning. Okay, here he comes. Right there. Keep it going. Oh. I've got him shut down. Right there. Okay, he's good. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. 220, uphill just a little bit. Hold just a touch high. Just a touch high. I got him. All right, I'm going. Go ahead. Let's go. Take it. Reload. I lost track of him. All right, he's coming back down the hill.
After the shot, he goes side hills a little bit more, turns and comes straight down the hill, right down into the bottom of this dark timber where we're at.
I was so jacked up, I grabbed my gun and just took off running. Steve literally had to come get me and say, Chuck, no, don't run, don't go anywhere, calm down, chill out.
The one thing that you definitely don't want to do is push a wounded animal. We actually ended up coming back to the area where we knew that he had been crashing into.
There's some blood here.
There's some more right here.
Lo and behold, there he is, standing broadside.
There he is.
Right there. Chuck, get in front of this bush. Okay, easy.
I got away.
Wait, settle down.
Got boy, got it.
I got it, baby!
Yeah.
There was so much adrenaline flowing through my body. It was the most insane, exciting, exhilarating experience I've ever been through.
God, this is awesome.
As I walked up on this animal, you don't realize how big they are until they're right in front of your face.
Get you a handful of horns.
I'm going to jump up on my ass. And I was awestruck. I still couldn't believe that he was down. Look at the size of this thing, man. This thing is a monster, man.
That is sweet,
I
dude.
cannot believe I shot this beast.
Look at this bad boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 6, baby. Look at the mass and the girth on this guy.
I know, look at this thing.
That is a nice bull.
You know, without the help of a good guide, this would never happen. And it was the most challenging experience I've ever been through. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, I mean, everything.
That is a nice bull.
Look at the size of this thing, man.